and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everybody to our September 2nd town board meeting. And we will proceed with the approval of minutes from our last meeting, which were August 18th meeting. Is there any questions, concerns over it? If not, entertain a motion.
Motion to approve minutes as presented.
Okay, just move for the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
And thank you for the second. All those in favor of approval of the minutes, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign, and so that passes. Okay, next up will be the approval of claims. Start off with the accounts payable for the period ending September 2nd.
I'll make a motion to approve the accounts payable September 2nd, 2025.
Any motions or second?
Second.
Any motion for the second? All those in favor of any motion, say aye. All opposed, same sign. And that passes. Next up will be payroll voucher for the period ending August 27th. Any questions, concerns over here?
Will that be the last one with Park, or with pool on it?
They will be on the next one, just a very minimal,
Like a day or two? I don't think there was much after.
yeah, like cleanup, just very few of them.
You don't get. I motion to approve payroll voucher dated August 22nd, 2025.
Chris making the motions or second?
Second.
And thank you for the second. All those in favor of the motion, say aye. All those opposed, same sign. And that passes. Okay. We will move on now to old business. First up will be the cost of service study.
Cost of service study. Is that what you said?
Cost of service study?
Okay.
We just need to make a motion to approve it, right?
The next one, they're all both the same, right? The I-9 meters part of this cost of service study.
Yeah.
So basically, they're gonna look at the flow.
Correct.
Okay.
We get approved together? Or
I
not?
think we can do them together, and I think it's probably good not to exceed on the price. On the cost of service. So I'll make a motion to approve the cost of service study done by Westler Engineering for an amount not to exceed $10,000 for the study.
Tim, the motions or second?
Second.
Anything for the second? All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. And so that passes. Okay. Next up would be the I&I meter.
That's just a meter Scott needs to install.
Right.
On motion to approve the installation of the II meter.
Chris Lincoln, motions or second?
I'll second that.
Tim Lincoln, the second.
Hey, Tim, on the cost of service, you said Westler, I think it's Reedy.
I'm very sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Yeah, don't put that out there. I'll get home.
Shut up for a second.
Okay, all those in favor of the motion for I&I meter, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. And so that passes. All right. Do you have anything else on our old business?
Real quick on the pool, you just mentioned the pumps and everything, when were they gonna be maintenance or?
I talked to Sean today, and he's gonna get a hold of Don tomorrow
Okay,
and get them on the schedule to be pulled.
okay.
Did we ever get a quote? We've asked him several times for it, so we had no clue how much he's gonna charge.
I know. I wouldn't think it'd be, I mean, we could compare our quote to what he charges Seymour, I mean, to make sure it's reasonable, but,
So when I was talking to Sharon Cook about,
Low fours, high five digit.
so when I was talking to Sharon Cook about the pool we were having problems with, she said they used to do that, and that they were stored, not over there, we stored them.
so we took them out and we stored them.
They took them out, but we stored them.
They leave,
Yeah.
But did they do maintenance or maintenance with
They must have, but then we stored them, so we didn't have to pay the storage. I don't know that.
Oh, that'd be worth
Is that back
checking
in shoes running?
But I thought we kind of talked about that, but we never got a price, and we thought it might be more for them handling them more times, might not be worth it.
Right, so we need, that's what I'm saying, we need
But
to figure out if they're
maybe-
charging us a storage fee.
Yeah, no, I never could get a quote, I asked, what, 3, 4, 5 times?
Do we wanna call the other Beely or something? Cause
We need to get a hold of Sean before he talks to Don tomorrow. I know he sent him a text today, that said, call me tomorrow.
have we gotten the quote of the bill yet, or the?
I got the quote, or the bill for the labor, for the installation, I paid that, but I've never gotten a bill for the actual pump. I don't know what to do. I mean, we need to have them pulled.
Can you call B&H directly and ask for the quote instead of going through,
Send it home to Dolly. I can call him tonight.
if you can,
Will you give them a call?
Yeah.
I'm not getting there.
I just need to, we have.
No,
fairly
I
good
agree.
contact, especially with the relationship. If we all of a sudden go around, I feel like I'll give him a call tonight.
You'll call Don?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, Andy, do you want to put your park on the old business? You told me to put it on the agenda today, but I already had these printed.
Either that, or it's all new, I can go new,
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
It's whatever, do they wanna go sit, I'll just sit through it?
That's fine. You can put it in there.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Go on old business. All right, moving on to new business. We got the Brownstown American Legion request for a 4th of July parade.
Good evening. Thank you for letting me join you this evening. I'd like to start by expressing my gratitude for a very successful Watermelon Festival. I think it's an event that just really showcases our talent and how unique and special our community is. Along those lines, on July 4th, 2026, as you know, our nation is going to be celebrating the 250th anniversary of its founding. This is a truly momentous milestone in our nation's history. We would like the American Legion Post 112 here in Brownstown to respectfully propose a parade entitled 250 Years, The Story of Us. This is an event that we hope would aim to honor and celebrate our rich heritage, the enduring spirit of our country, and especially the service and sacrifice of our Jackson County veterans throughout the years. We would like the parade to begin at 12 p.m. on the 4th of July. We've already done some groundwork should it be approved. Our goal is to include up to 40 floats. We'd like to have as many as 3 bands, possibly more. On the packet that I prepared for you, the highlighted participants have already confirmed their commitment to take part should the parade be approved. We would have a honor guard, bearing the national colors. We'd like to have a grand marshal that would hopefully be the oldest Jackson County veteran, or if unavailable, the oldest Jackson County resident. We'd like to include the previous year's Fair Queen, and those who are running for the current title, the Brownstown Band, if they would be willing. The County Veteran Service Office would have a float. The American Legion Post would have a float. Jeff's Car Wash has already volunteered a float. We'd have a World War II half track, which I think the kids would especially enjoy. I would enjoy that. The Brownstown Fire Department has graciously offered to be a part of it, along with the Jackson County EMS. We'd like to have the police department be involved if they're available. We understand that they have other duties that they are expected to attend to. Seymour School would be invited. The Seymour VFW has committed to having a float. We would like to include the National Guard 151 Infantry Iraq Vets. They had a unit that deployed during OIF, and they still meet together and reminisce, so they would be an excellent participant. And of course, additional floats and bands as willing. We would offer the registration through our Facebook page. I can very easily create an online form. It could be Google form or Microsoft, whatever platform would be best. And the Jackson County Service Office would be available also through phone, email, or in-person drop-ins. Aside from one parade that takes place in Valonia, and I'm not sure if that's an every year thing, to be honest, we're not aware of any other 4th of July parades that are currently planned elsewhere in the county. So we would love to see this be something that just draws our entire county together. As far as the route goes, we would like to propose that the staging area begin at Jackson County Park on Walnut Street and extend back toward the fairgrounds. The participants would stage on the side of the road, whether it be right or center, and then with floats positioned in the center, and then at the conclusion, we're just going to make a square, and they would exit out the same way through that same staging area to the left. The parade would begin at the corner of Walnut and Jackson Streets. It would then proceed west along Walnut for 2 blocks, return left onto Sugar Street, continue for an additional 2 blocks, and then make another left-hand turn onto Tanner Street. The parade would then proceed 3 more blocks before returning to the start point at Walnut and Jackson Streets. We looked at several different potential routes. We chose this one because it is the flattest that we could find, for one thing. But it also would keep us from needing to block off any major thoroughfares, something that we really wanted to take into consideration. I think it additionally kind of highlights some of our civic areas here in town, and for the county as well. So it just, unless you have other suggestions, that's the route that we would propose for this. We would need the aforementioned streets blocked off by 8 o'clock in the morning of the parade, and then those impacted streets would then reopen at the conclusion of the parade. So basically just that square. 50 would remain completely unaffected. And of course, there are streets surrounding it. We appreciate your consideration.
What day of the week is July 4th next year?
That's a good question. I do not know right off the top of my head, but I'll tell you here in just one moment.
Saturday, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Any questions, concerns?
Number one concern is we shut down the streets, and just obviously the business is impacted, but with it being on a Saturday, it's really gonna be minimal, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Offices till closed.
Great idea. Is the parade route too small? That's be my only thing. Seems like it's
You know-
awfully small. Well,
So,
You're right,
I'm
I
like, well,
I
because
did
the
think
watermelon
about that.
festival, you know, I mean, came from the high school, and then everybody was out, and it was like a big, and then it came down. It
Yes.
just seems like when you get bands in this little short area, and
Yes.
everything, you're talking a small area.
yes, so, and we are open to any
No,
suggestions that you may have. I agree with you. I think that's actually my only real concern, is that it is, you know, geographically a tight space to fit that many floats into. But my concern is, you know, if we open it up 50, you know, do we take it, which way would we take it? That's really kind of, because I don't want to get into a lot of hills where we're asking, you know, folks who are maybe older or potentially, you know, young kids to hike in hot weather. But I would, you know, gladly revisit the route.
Yeah, if you could make, I don't know, make it a little longer, it just seems like a great idea for a short route, you
Yes,
know?
yes,
I like the idea of staying off of 50 for, I mean, it's a state highway, so it
Right.
changes things for us. I don't know if you could come out and, you know, head right on Water Street, go down a couple blocks, just back a couple more blocks it that way.
yes. That would be a possibility.
On Water Street, that's where the historical society is.
Yes.
The back end of that and the
And you go
cemetery.
Past the library, if you.
Past the library.
Go past the library.
Mhm.
It
It would.
Go past Heritage Park at some point too, and then
Yeah,
that.
or then
It's
you
just-
would have
Yeah,
50.
50, that's, I know, I think technically you're not supposed to shut down. I know like the bicentennial, they kind of had a parade and there was like a
We
whole.
used to have homecoming parades down
Things
there,
are different today.
I know.
I agree.
but I wonder what
It
it
was almost like
entails.
spur of the moment, kind of like the fire truck route, like you just kind of block it off. It's kind of
Graduation, this year, graduation go down here, graduation go down
50 every year?
50 year. No, it's nothing about that, I think you have to ask permission from the state, but the door doesn't, the Christmas parade, the door on State Road 235.
I
When
think
you're
it's
out in
something.
front of it quite a bit, you can,
If that's not that big a deal, it would be nice to get out.
on.
Yes.
Everybody, yeah. I mean, it's still, you're still.
I think your starting point is really good. I like pushing it back there, especially if
Yeah.
you're concerned with the motion, you know, so
Right.
you can't go as far, it's all right here.
It's
but
just them leaving.
Same.
They're just, yeah, you're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, even if you took it and just went this block,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think it's a great idea, but Amy's right.
Yeah, we could easily go, up water, you know, that wouldn't be a
That's good, yeah, even.
problem, and then high and then come back down.
Even if we blocked off just part of 50, they could still, people could get around it to go.
Well,
I mean,
how
it's
long
Fourth of
is
July.
the parade gonna last? You know?
Yeah, it's 4th
I
of
mean, you're not
July.
blocking
It's
it
just-
for
I'm
hours
checking
upon
with
hours.
with the schools, to see what they do,
Yeah.
if they ask for permission or reasons.
Because that would be good if you could come down 50 and go in front of the courthouse and all that.
Yes. That's what we originally had thought about doing, but in our in-house discussion, we thought, well, it might be kind of a big ask, depending on how everyone felt about closing 50 or what that would entail.
go with the flow of traffic, if you're actually crossing. Crossing, you have blocked for a little bit, but if you're going with the flow.
So when they used to have the watermelon festival, it went down.
It was
That's
past
the
my house.
parade. It came from the high school.
We went to the Christian church, and came down to my house, down all spring,
And
got
then
50.
here, and came all the way down and ended by Dairy Queen.
But you're trying to avoid the hills.
That was a consideration.
I mean, if you just come up Walnut to Blondie's,
Uh-huh.
on Main Street, came back down by the church and go back, just make it, if your square was just this.
Yes,
Yeah,
That's
came down to
perfect.
250
Yes.
and then went,
Yeah, just make
Yeah,
the
that's what-
square this big.
yeah,
Yeah.
go behind still and come down.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
mhm.
Especially here, yeah.
I agree. I think that'd be excellent.
That keeps you off the hills.
Yes. And it gives us a little breathing room.
Yeah, you can still turn it that way. And I think all the residents, the more residents that you're gonna have to, I like
That's-
that a lot better.
Exactly. That, I think, is kind of a big part of just drawing people out of their houses.
Yes, take that into consideration.
We will gladly accept whatever the town recommends as far as the route goes.
Should we maybe closer to time? I mean, we could go ahead and
Certainly.
do the approval, or whether to have it or
Yes.
not today, maybe closer to time, see how many participants you have, see how big it's gonna be.
Absolutely.
Because
I
I
think
don't think
that's
it's
a
too
good
big if
idea.
you've only got limited number of people as well, but then there's two spread out.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
likewise, you've got like 15 kind of listed on here, I know with room for more, like, if there would be more through the other service agencies or churches or.
Yes, we would
organizations.
love to have,
Okay.
Right.
yeah,
That
absolutely.
gives you some time. to
Businesses,
decide.
local area businesses, just everyone is welcome.
And you'll reach out to like the local churches and stuff.
Absolutely, we can do
Or if there's
that.
some kind of Facebook post or someplace that we can share a link or kind of let
Yes.
people know about, I think it would be.
We're intending to do most of it through the American Legion unless, you have another suggestion, we could,
I think that's a great starting point, because that points back to the sponsoring organization.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we always share things
Yeah.
and keep it, but
yeah, we'll have an increased social media presence as we get the ball rolling on this with your approval. And definitely a sign-up form that will, that I could even link to someone's email here at the town if you just wanted to keep tabs on who all was participating, that's not a problem, just send out a notification that way as well when someone signs up, so.
Okay.
so we can approve the date pending route based off of participation.
The only other question I would have, would there need to be some kind of cleanup crew afterwards for any animals or anything else?
It probably wouldn't be a bad idea, but I'm sure, the American Legion, we would intend on, policing the route as much as we could afterwards. We don't certainly want to make a mess. But if that was available, it'd be very nice. I don't yet know how many animals we may have. But I think that would be exciting if we
You
did.
can require anyone on horseback, they have those
Oh,
things
the-
that go
like a
around
little
their
badge.
shoulders. You can make it that a requirement.
That might be a good idea, just, to ease the burden on the town. Absolutely. Oh, candy. That's always a question these days. Should we have candy? Should candy be thrown from floats? Do we have safety concerns about candy? I mean, this is
Great.
I think they
It's a
expect
parade.
it.
County.
It's an American.
Yes.
Parade. Throw the candy.
That might be something
Plastic.
that we have to, police a little bit more. We don't want to make a mess, but I think we'd be glad to do that for the sake of, kids ought to have candy in a parade, so.
I always see, they say don't throw it, and they just kind of drop it.
Yeah.
And that entices the kids to come closer.
Yes.
Just
Give it over.
Give them the head, teach them how to catch.
Yes.
So. 40 flows this, we could say, I mean, close the roads afterwards, but I mean, this would be a maybe 20-minute.
Yeah, it's not gonna, I don't think it's gonna be a very long parade,
Yeah.
you know, and we understand. Also, you know, 4th of July brings a lot of demands on people's time, so we wanna be respectful of that as well.
Yeah.
But we do wanna, you know, show our patriotism and love, not only for our nation, but our county.
Opportunity,
Yeah.
I think it's fantastic timing.
Well, it might be one that closer to that you do find some sponsorship, put flags out or do other stuff to kind
Something
of.
a little bit more patriotic, yeah.
Yes.
So you, Main Street or local businesses would want to have some kind of presence where they would do that as well, so.
I would love that. I didn't know, you know, if the town, what kind of bunting we may have, if we have any of that. We would love to do it up as much as possible.
Yeah.
You know,
We know-
This is not gonna roll around again.
We're actually looking at the flags now. Mr. Wilson's actually looking into the etiquette of the flag and hanging on the poles. We've had a citizen here approach us about putting flags out on the poles here.
Yes,
Not, obviously not year round, but so we had some questions on etiquette as far as
Mhm.
lighting, what do you do if they have to go to half mast and all that stuff, so.
correct.
So he's looking into that now, so by then, we're gonna know one way or the other what we need to do or not do there, so that would be part of it. Downtown, we're looking
Absolutely.
patriotic.
And the American Legion offers an honor guard and flag etiquette education, if that's a resource that would be
So
helpful
he's my
to
neighbor,
you.
so I may ask him to reach out.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
That's cool.
The Legion does have a bunch of flags. In other words, the small ones that we used
Oh, yeah.
on Memorial Day,
Mhm.
we probably we got about 1,000,
Okay.
800 to 1,000. So, you know, you could get them from us, you know, we take them back at the end of it, so we clean them up and they use the ones and dispose of the ones that, not dispose, retire the ones that need to be retired. Which, just so you know, probably by next month, there'll be a box in front of it, a metal container in front of the Legion, it has stripes and stars on it. And it's kind of like a mail thing, it's got a slot in the top. And that's what it'll be for, retiring flags, because some people burn them or trash them, which is a big no-no. And we will start doing a ceremony on Flag Day to where we will actually have a ceremony of all the ones we collect, so.
That's pretty cool.
So you'll see, it'll be in front of the American Legion, it's like I said, it's boxed by metal container about this tall, and it's red, white, and blue with stars on it, so again, you know, just bring, that's the only reason I thought that's because we go through all those flags, and we also, just with our, keep saying it, retire those.
Will it be out there year round from now on?
Yep,
Yes,
starting
for the
out.
community.
That's awesome.
That is. So then at Iowa, we've got flags we have to retire, and I don't know what that process is, but I know every so often we're cooler over getting more flags.
Yes,
And switching around, so it's nice to know there's a place to take them.
absolutely. We'll be
Yeah,
glad to
but-
Well,
take
a place
care of
to
that.
ask too, because we were just thinking last week, if we put one here, the proper, so now we can just ask.
We would love to see more of those. That's kind of an initiative that we're working with Seymour as well. They've got flag collection points, and it's something that, you know, we would love to see more in our community. So that, you know, we have one here that.
And that also gives us an opportunity to invite the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts for
Yes.
the whole retiring ceremony. It's a pretty cool ceremony. Can't give you goosebumps
Mhm.
because you start a fire, there's all this protocol and things, and you collect the ashes and you actually bury it, and very cool.
Something I'm sure Mr. Lawson will
Oh,
know.
yeah.
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
some of the classes might
Because-
want that
Yes.
too.
Yeah.
John Lawson is the individual, I don't know if you know John or not, but so he teaches, the middle school, so he's going to get the kids involved in the whole flags in the downtown and everything too, so.
We have a gift of gratitude for him, for his, you know, helping us for Memorial Day and everything that he does with the 8th grade,
Yeah,
so.
good.
Yeah, we really appreciate him and his involvement. He's just wonderful.
Awesome.
So, that being said, we'd be able to potentially do something conditional to where that is, but definitely be able to block off that time period. And by closer to the time, come up with the exact route, so. Would there be a motion on this?
Make a motion to approve the July 4th parade as presented with the route tentative up on the final number of enrollment with floats and bands and everything else.
Do you need the motion, is there a second?
I second.
Chris, thank you for the second. All those in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. And so that passes. So I would say as you gather more information, or if you have any kind of social media stuff that we'll be able to share, let us know what's on there. and
Okay, great.
We can get that out there and we can share stuff as well.
Yes, sir. That'd be wonderful. Thank you very much.
Shall we get a date on the calendar next year, tentative date, like April time period, or something, maybe to go ahead and kind of see where we're at, maybe draw a line in the sand and then decide where we're at then? Or
Yes.
just do it, or I guess, how do we contact, what's the best way to contact
I
them?
can be the point of contact. That would be just fine.
And can Sonia get your contact information? from Dave?
Absolutely. Mhm.
So we can once we know our dates for the
Sure.
next year, we can just, can see it.
So the first meeting would be on the 6th of April, let's say it'll be on the 20th. So we could kind of aim for, maybe calendar something out for that.
Just the route there, that gives us plenty of time to get the route closed, that you think you'll have everything finalized by then as far as your participants?
Yes, I'm pretty sure we would.
Okay.
That sounds great.
Okay. Okay, all right. Thank you very much for coming in and presenting this.
Thank you for your time. I appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Can you grab one of that business card from my window?
Yes, I sure will. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I didn't introduce myself, but most of you guys might know me. I'm Deb Schwartz, a retired school teacher and veteran. My husband's the commander of the Legion, Post 112 over there. So he keeps me in line.
I bet somebody does, don't they?
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.
We'll make you proud.
Appreciate it.
That's exciting.
Yes,
In
absolutely.
Madison, they always had a 4th of July parade.
Yeah.
As a kid, it was always my favorite. Because they threw tons of candy.
Everybody.
In my head, I was like, I hope they're gonna throw candy.
Like three
I'd
counties.
love to see
Yes.
a tradition, but
It's usually Fort William that has it.
Yeah, they-
thank you, sir.
Three counties too.
Freetown used to, so,
See you Friday.
It's probably the
Friday,
one.
like, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. And they don't have it anymore. Been for years.
Thank you again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Next up, our new business would be some sewer adjustments, both of them pool fills, 2 different locations. One for the amount to be adjusted $56.62, the other would be $47.52.
Make a motion to approve both pool fills, one on 501 West Spring Street, 5662, and the other one on 309 North High Street, 4752.
All right, Tim, make the motion, is there a second?
Second.
Crystal, thank you for the second. All those in favor of the sewer adjustments, say aye. All those opposed, same sign. And so that passes. Do you have anything else on the new business?
Yeah, the park. Okay, so I sent the 3 pictures today because I couldn't get them to print. So if you go to your 3rd picture, that's the picture of where the playground is going. And there is that large, I'm not good with electricity, but large pole transformer. And you see that wire that's coming across, like that long wire. I see it.
Did you send it to me too?
I don't think I did, but.
Here.
So there's the long wire, so that's right in the play area, it's not touching the play area, but I was like, what is this wire, right? So I called Duke, had them come meet me, and I said, what do we got going on here? So they told me that that wire is actually the high school's tennis courts lights, okay? And it feeds to our transformer, okay? And I said, well,
That's really good request there.
I said, because it goes, I mean, it goes. I said, can we get rid of it? Because I don't see any kid, but I don't know, you know, I'm like, can we get rid of it? He said, we got to call the school, which I've done.
It's on the backside of the asphalt, correct?
Yes, it's on the backside, like it's gonna be
This
right.
is the volleyball court,
Yes.
and then that's the.
Yes, and there's, the swing sets will be there, like, I don't think it's gonna cause any issues, it's just in that tree, and I'm like, I don't know,
I just
One-
wouldn't want a kid playing under it.
right.
As it fell.
No,
Okay.
that's a, yeah.
So, I asked Duke to come meet me, so I'm like, okay, what can we do with this? And they said, well, the school has to put in a commercial request to have that moved. I said, okay. He said, there is charges for this, and I said, well, and then you send the other pictures, and I'm like, what about all these other poles? We've got poles everywhere. And he's like, well, there's charges for this, charges for that, to move this. Like he explained all. I said, I don't know anything about electricity. I just know there's poles all over this park with lines going everywhere. So he said, you know, it's gonna cost this, gonna cost that. I said, well, you have to realize it is for the town and it is for the school. What can you do for me? So he came back with this proposal. So he called, he was very excited and said, our supervisor has agreed, no charge, no charge, no charge. If you look at all the places where they're gonna bury and get rid of every pole and not charge us. Okay, so they'll basically get rid of that pole, put it underground, no charge. They'll take that line to the high school, no charge, okay? The ones over, down below with the baseball, they'll get rid of those, no charge. The ones back behind where Kevin's office is, no charge, okay? The only thing is, we have to grant them a 7.5 foot, 2 easements, which is the blue and the yellow line, to bury all that and to get rid of it, okay? Now, if you look on the left side, to put a new pole riser or something in the ground, that yellow is what they will charge us for. All the other things are no charge, but that yellow, for some reason, there's a charge. So I said, okay, what is the charge? For the trenching route and the labor, what is the charge? Well, they wouldn't give me a quote for the charge unless the town would say, if we agree to the fee, we will grant you the easement. Because they didn't want to put their estimators to work to figure out a fee unless they knew that if we would agree on the fee, we would grant them the easement. And I said, okay, well, what if the fee's too high? They said, then you don't give us the easement. We don't have to sign anything, we don't have to do anything, we just have to say, okay, we'll grant you the easement if we can afford it, if we can make it work, if the park can figure it out. So which I didn't really, honestly, I thought that was different, but I understand their reasoning to spend all the time. Then also, I talked to REMC because we're working on some grants on Wi-Fi at the park with a 5-year grant. So they need the fiber buried. So this would be a great time to get the fiber. They're still working on that, my quote's on that, but basically that's the proposal.
I've got a question. Do we need to present this to the park? I also think we probably need to let the DDA know, because where that blue line is, potentially would be if there's any kind of groundwork or anything, any kind of work done for that upper diamond, they would need to know that, hey,
Correct,
Pretty
because
much.
it says,
And then the school is aware that part of it is buried on there.
sorry, get back to my email. Because there is an email that says, okay, the park must grant Duke Energy 2 separate underground easements that I've indicated in the arrow view. The only locations that there will be charges for to the park or materials and labor are the yellow. By refeeding the underground dashed yellow line, this should eliminate any future safety clearance concerns for anything that you would have. Not to mention a lot less costly to trench in wire than to install poles and span overhead conductors. Okay?
yeah.
the rest of the notes are just to give a better overall understanding of what the removals and the underground resurface work. Then we will not be able to, like you said, nothing can be built or go into those easements, which we know that.
So my question is, you got your the yellow line and the blue line. There's like a dash, like you took a compass and drew in between.
That 40 foot.
That 40, does that mean that whole area is blocked off?
Well, he didn't act like it because there's already an existing structure there.
So that was my other question.
You see what I'm saying? He just said though, that yellow dash line, I don't know if he did that to show how far apart, you know?
Not only, yeah.
Which we don't really have to. Like if it's, I don't have any idea, if it's $30,000, obviously the parks doesn't have that unless we get a grant to do that. But if it's $5,000, we might have some money left over from something that we could do that. I don't
Well,
know.
and do they did I mean, I think we need to find out the details.
They do all the work.
Well, but if we could find somebody that would dig it.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's why I don't know if there's any way to,
Like, and it kind of,
a different.
I think there's been times in the past when we've had RMC come out and kind of do some stuff for the park, but it was probably more for the lighting than it was, they kind of had permission and said, hey, stay within these guidelines. Since they're actually putting in a new line, I'm not sure that they.
Well, and I don't mean the electric, but I just mean maybe some of the groundwork, the trenching and stuff.
When we built our garage and we wanted it underground and then hooked to the house, we had to have Pete's trenching come and trench it, and then Duke come back and just run it, cover it.
Just run it.
It would not trench.
They would not change, okay.
So maybe,
That was residential, but,
You didn't have another meter to put in though, did you?
yeah.
You had 2 meters, one for the house, one for the, huh, because in 2016, you did mine, on my barn, they trenched it and everything.
Well, but
Over
well,
on
recent
Cumming-
history, I think they're trying to get more contract work and less liability, so it may be,
Over on Cumming Street, they wouldn't trench ours.
There's a lot of utility firms behind your.
there may be, you may have
Oh,
a
that's
field in
kind
there,
of
maybe
the
then
street,
more.
though, not your house.
Cumming Street,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, sorry.
So I would be open if there's some way that we could find someone local that might give us a deal, maybe cut down some of those costs or whatever.
right,
And
and
we probably
I,
have to ask their permission or blessing to say, hey, do you want to?
and I don't even know what the cost would be, because they won't give me a cost until I say, okay, yes, the town
Will entertain.
will entertain the motion to give you the easement.
So, I gotta ask this, you know, this is all of our stuff, going back to that tennis court. Do we have to go back to the school and ask for them to give an easement to do for this to work too?
From that section.
For this section over here?
No. Because he explained to me, this is gonna go up, I don't know where, he told me where it was gonna feed, and I don't know, like I said, it's gonna feed up to here. So I don't know,
So they potentially put a pole and still
But
feed it?
this is an easement we need to grant, but then that same blue dot goes here. So you would think the school would
you
need
would
to
think, but he didn't
bless
mention that.
Well, maybe since it's just your park or something.
I don't know, he didn't mention that.
So that may be something that we, when you talk to Brian, he has his board hat on, maybe say, hey, can you switch your school board hat and say, hey, can you look at this as well and say, potentially there might be an easement they would need to take a look at too. But I'm sure they would love to probably get rid of some above ground stuff and get it buried and have it be
Right.
safer and more secure.
When your next board meeting.
2.5 months.
So. But we would have the opportunity, if we go back and the estimates were too high, we'd be able to come back and say no.
Right, we can't, I mean, because we're not signing anything, we're not doing anything, we're just saying we entertain them, like you said. Yes, if we can afford it, then we will grant you the easement. But if it's an absolute no, then they don't want their estimators to waste their time on figuring the cost.
You have to get a cost before you can say yea or nay.
Right.
That's the other point, though. If we have an issue with it that's not cost related, then they don't want to waste their time to go out there and nip it in the bud. If we just say no today, then they're not wasting their time. But I'm sitting there thinking, is there anything outside of price or cost, whatever, that would
Right.
stop us from doing this?
I feel like before I can make a legal determination, I think I need a little bit more information.
You said it was 7 foot?
7.5 foot each side and parallel to the final install, right here on the right, where it just said underground conductors.
That's a 15, end up being a pretty wide area. But, I mean, outside of that baseball,
Cause it's almost in the ditch, like this
Well,
is,
it's kind of,
This
you
is-
can't do a whole lot of things.
this is like the ditch, really.
it's like a ditch. Do we have any other utilities running through there? Everything else should be caught water-wise going that way. Maybe check with Sean to see if we have anything else that's in that area.
Cause isn't there a big drain?
There's a
It's up
drain
here.
that,
It's up here somewhere.
it's at the corner of the
Yeah, it's
swing set. There's one.
past the tree.
I'm not familiar enough with where that goes, but there's some kind of drainage down in that area. I don't know how that would affect some of their easement. But I think we all would agree, we prefer to have playground without any big telephone poles or wires in the way and have it be
Nice.
nice, neat, and clean.
Especially if eventually you're planning on a splash pad with water.
Yeah,
It has to
other
be done if we do
improvements,
that.
Yeah.
But like you said, if we're doing this and we're removing that one wire, you know, and that was the original, how this all got started, I guess, removing the one wire. And then originally this was all charges for all this, and I was like, we can't do this, so then they came back and no charges, so I was like, okay. But, and like I said, I said, can you give me an idea, and they said no, so I don't know.
For me, I want to know what that cost would be.
Right, so can we just,
I think,
we'll entertain the motion of an easement, we want the cost.
I think anyone, I think I think anyone would be fine with the idea of getting rid of those poles
Right.
and redoing this nicely. It would just be, would they be concerned with giving out that 15 feet?
So can we say the easement and then get the cost, and then obviously we'll come back and say, is everybody okay with that?
I think pending the final determination of what that estimate is.
Right,
And park and approval.
right,
And part board approval.
which they know we're trying to get rid of. They don't know the original, because this just came about Friday, the original reason of that pole, but Brian has talked about getting rid of the overhead. And then maybe getting some decorative lighting over there, you know, something nicer, a couple decorative lights instead of the big poles there.
Is there any downside to giving them the easement?
Like I said, the only thing would be if the BVA is trying to reconstruct, or the only other thing is, I'm not sure how handicap compliant that area is, if they were ever to try to make it.
Change parking.
It's just so they can come in and fix something if something goes wrong. It's not giving them the property.
No,
You just can't put that-
property.
You just can't put anything on it.
Can't put it
Right,
on.
so you can't build on it or do anything that would obstruct their ability to go in. So you couldn't put a building on there or types of
Yeah.
structures.
Gotcha.
Or if they try to do some kind of reconstruction of that retaining wall of that baseball diamond.
Because this actually like is going down that hill to that parking area, you know what I mean, like that's,
But to me, on the surface, it looks like it's no problem, but
Yeah, this part is kind of not an area you can do anything with anyways.
Actually, on
right?
that, on those handicap spots, if you were trying to go ADA compliant, and get all the way up there, you have to line back and forth, back and forth, back and forth to get all the
Oh,
way
yeah.
up there. And technically, it's not up to code, even though they've got the spots right there, so pretty much you take away any big chunk of opportunity to be able to wind that back up there, but it's concrete, it'd be really expensive, it'd have to be really wide, like, I'm not sure that that's something at this point, park or DBS before. The best place to continue to park on the backside and roll in. Personally, I want to see what the estimates are. So I would be willing to say, hey, let's proceed to see what that estimate is, and based upon that price. I mean, it's tight. I mean, any match can be good. I don't know if we can afford that.
Right.
So, not that it's a cop out, but that's,
Also, you at least know what you're up against.
yeah. But the opportunity to get some of this stuff buried at no cost is too good not to proceed and say, hey, let's kick the tires on.
And this is just pure legal question, but we're 100% sure with respect to the ownership of all this property. We understand, there's no conflict at all, I assume. Just, I mean, I'm sure there's not, the town owns all of this, but there's never
They
a
own the
question.
park, right?
Okay,
That's my
And
understanding.
it's right in the center of the park. so.
just making sure. So that's like the lawyer question for,
I know.
is it plugged in? Just making sure.
You did really get a definitive answer, everybody was like, I'm pretty sure.
I haven't checked yet. You want to go look?
We think so.
It's always a good idea to make sure you own the property before you get an easement. So,
I don't know, I thought it was a good idea when he came with all this and.
Do we have to
I think
vote for her to move forward to get
I think
prices?
we have to do some kind of tentative proposal, motion.
Are you looking for a motion?
I will entertain a motion, yes.
No. Make a motion to approve with Duke Energy looking at redoing the electrical grid for like their term at the park, by going to underground cables.
Pending easement cost.
Spending
Or-
costs.
Yeah, that we won't
Yeah,
make a
recent-
decision until after the fact, so,
recent,
yeah.
yeah.
If anybody wants to second it, you gotta repeat exactly what it says.
Can I second? I'll second.
Yes, and you should second. Yeah. So thank you for a second. All those in favor of Tim's motion, say aye. Those opposed, same sign. And so that passes.
I've also contacted, or been contacted by several people for demolition and asphalt of the basketball and volleyball. Shane, did you give me his, he came and looked at it, but I haven't got a quote from him yet. He came last week. Cameron Birch came, haven't got a quote back from him. Jeremiah Percival came back, he just sent me a quote a minute ago, which the quote on the, leveling and all that is affordable, the demolition is not, so I'm still working on that. And no quotes on the asphalt except for All-Star, which, still waiting on those, but they were
I'll say this.
40,000 for the basketball and 38 for the volleyball. So, waiting to 36,733 and 46,167. To be continued to look some quotes and see where we're at.
Okay. And they've done a lot of work down there, and they know the park, they know what it takes in there, so.
And we have a couple of other grants in the works and see where we're at too. See what we get, and we're working on building our patronicity site. So, for the 50,000. We're still applying to the visitor center for the 20. The T-Mobile for the 50. So we've got ideas of funding to help pay for all of this if we can get it all together. We just need to get some idea where we're at.
Do you know who with Duke you were speaking with?
Darren McKinney. And Alex Williams at RMC for the fiber. Which I thought would be great because that would be our cameras, right? And he wanted to know where the hub would be, which I thought, I couldn't remember where we discussed, I thought Kevin's office area, is that right?
That'd be in the center, so that'd be nice.
So that would be the center hub. And Jane was working on a 5-year grant for internet, public access, and so that would help offset the cost of that.
You could do Kevin's unless it needs to be in a different secure than you can do the street department.
That's all the way on one side though, give you only that thing.
Yeah.
Unless there's a closet or something.
Is Kevin's climate controlled?
I don't know. Yes, we got heat in there, we put a, I mean,
But does it go year round?
if he turns it on and off.
Probably need it at some point for the winter.
Yes.
As long as it reaches from the street, that.
Yeah, great, yeah.
So, yes, there's a lot of moving parts, but we gotta get some estimates and see where we're at.
Fantastic.
Thank you for all your work.
Yep. Thank you. All right, anything else in the new business? Hearing none, entertain a motion to.
Wait a minute, it's not new, but before you adjourn,
Oh.
this is back from July, we never got it signed, the new, when I got my increase, the salary ordinance. So that just needs signed so I can file it. And this is Mindy, she started today.
Congratulations.
Thank you. She'll be taking Kathy's spot when she retires. Kathy was out today, but she'll be back tomorrow.
Looking forward to working with you.
Yep. All right,
Thank you.
I will pass this around, and as we do, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you for the motion, thank you for the second, all those in favor of adjourning, say aye. All those opposed, same sign, we adjourn.
First, I remember,